Hello, NBA fans, and welcome to the last full episode of the regular season. Yes, the time has come for playoff basketball to begin. The first games will be played on Saturday, so next week's episode will have both playoff and regular season basketball. I just want time to go faster and start the playoffs, so let's not waste a moment and get right into this episode of the NBA, the week that was. Trae Young was back at it with his game-winning antics against the Milwaukee Bucks. He sunk a cold-blooded floater in overtime to help the Hawks win. The final score was 136 to 135. Despite Trae's heroics, John Collins led the way for the Hawks with 23 points, 12 rebounds, and 3 massive blocks. Due to the fact that this might be one of the last times I speak about the Hawks this season, I just want to congratulate my boys. The Hawks were poised to have the first pick after a 5-20 start to the season. That's when we flipped the switch and made the NBA world realize that our rebuild is almost finished and we will be even stronger next season. Trae Young continued to gain confidence and finished the year playing at an all-NBA level. John Collins has proved that he can be the next big thing at the power forward spot, and Kevin Huerter has shown that he can be the next Klay Thompson and the Hawks can be the Warriors of the East. I'll be talking about our offseason goals in a future episode, so I just want to let you guys know. The Hawks? They're here for good. Cardiac Kemba went off against the Jazz, only for his Hornets to let him down and lose 111 to 102. Kemba Walker, a perennial all-star and one of the best point guards of this decade, has been forced to waste his talents in Charlotte because his team couldn't get him the support every star needs. Whether it be screwing up in free agency or the draft, the best player they've been able to pair alongside him is Nicholas Batum. That man is horrible, so you really feel for Kemba. He's a free agent next year, and this upcoming week could quite possibly be his last in a Hornets uniform. Thinking about it, Kemba could be a great fit with the Jazz, who need another offensive monster with Donovan Mitchell. Who knows, maybe next year I'll be talking about this same Hornets v Jazz matchup, but with Kemba on the Jazz. The battle for the first seed in the West came down to this matchup between the Warriors and the Nuggets. The Warriors took no pressure and cruised home to a 116 to 102 victory. DeMarcus Cousins stepped up with his 28-point, 13-rebound night. Sometimes, teams that are the first seed struggle to win games towards the end of the season. They relax and take a step back and don't play full-heartedly. The Warriors have done just the opposite. They are 8-2 in their last 10 games and look to continue their success throughout the playoffs. That should be relatively easy with 5 All-Stars on your team. If the Warriors had a team motto, it would be that if one doesn't step up, the other will. It's easy for them. Gordon Hayward led the way off the bench for the Boston Celtics in their 112 to 102 victory against the Heat. He had 25 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 assists. Just like the Warriors, the Celtics are clicking at just the right time. They are on a 3-game win streak headed into this week, and it finally seems like they've solved their starting 5 issues. With so many outstanding players on the roster, they always were in a chemistry dilemma with who is playing more minutes and who is playing less. The current starting 5 has been their most productive. It is Kyrie Irving, Marcus Smart, Al Horford, Aaron Baines, and Jason Tatum. Starting Baines and Smart over players like Gordon Hayward and Jaylen Brown might be confusing at first, but the grit and grind style of Baines and Smart has really helped the Celtics not only this season, but last year as well, in the playoffs when they had to step up without Kyrie or Gordon Hayward. Let's see if this is the team that the Celtics stick with for the rest of the year and their hopeful deep run into the playoffs. In yet another battle between the unstoppable object and the immovable object, Giannis Antetokounmpo got the better of Joel Embiid and the 76ers en route to a 128 to 122 victory for the Milwaukee Bucks. Giannis had 45 points, 13 rebounds, 6 assists, and 5 blocks to counter Embiid's 34-point, 13-rebound, 13-assist night. Like I said last week, these two in a 7-game playoff series would be a treat to watch. Both are young, both are massive, both can do everything. Just put them together and let them fight. I honestly believe in the next 5 years, 3 of the seasons will have an MVP named Joel Embiid or Giannis Antetokounmpo. They're just too good to be stopped on their road to victory. In the end, in my opinion, the better player of the two will emerge when one of them wins a championship. The Lakers season is basically over, and the Clippers are fighting not to play the Warriors in the first round of the playoffs. The Lakers ruined the Clippers' hopes by defeating them 122-117. Of all the players that could have stood up for the Lakers, it was undrafted second-year player Alex Caruso, who scored 32 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists to lead the Lakers. Some big shots down the stretch by Caruso even got LeBron out of his seat, and Caruso left the whole Lakers and Clippers teams in shock. He's the only other Laker this season to have 30-plus points, 10-plus rebounds, and 5-plus assists. Props to you, Alex Caruso. That wraps up the shorter edition of the NBA, the week that was. As I said, next week's episode will have some regular season games from this week, and the rest will be the playoff games played on Saturday. I hope you can't wait, just like me. See you next week on the NBA, the week that was.